Let's judge some books by their covers. Hi, I'm Colleen Delaney. Welcome to my channel. It's summer, it's hot, my hair is up, my shoulders are terribly sunburned because I took my kids to the pool for 4 hours yesterday and only put sunscreen on 2 times. And by my sunburn, I feel like I probably should have put it on 7 times, maybe? Is that normal? 7 times in 4 hours. Thanks for checking out my channel. In the description, you will find links for both my newsletter and my new release, Finding His Mate, coming out on June 20th. We're always told not to judge books by their cover, but we definitely do, and I do all the time. And when I put this list together, I realized I really judge books by their cover when it comes to my subscription service boxes. A beautiful cover can really entice a reader. So what I'm going to do here is show you some covers that I definitely bought the books because I love the cover so much, and let you know whether or not they held up. So let's start. Maybe the most beautiful cover of the year, definitely so far, was Wayward by Amelia Hart. Look at this. Raven, bugs, fruit, creepy. Also the back, gorgeous. Even the spine, looking really good with that butterfly right there. Wayward is about 3 different women at 3 different points of time who are on the same bloodline. We're in the 1600s, we're in the 1940s, and we're in the present day. They all have sort of weird, not crazy magical powers, but like magical realism, magical powers. Now, did this cover stand up? And I would say, yes, it did. Now, do I think Wayward was the best book I read this year? No, I did really enjoy it a lot. I think I gave it like 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it a lot. But I think this cover is perfect for the book. I think you look at this and you think, nature, sinister, bad stuff's probably going to happen. But there's also maybe going to be some cool magic, which is all those things are in this book. So I think they did a very good job. The next book I totally bought based on its cover was Mame by Jessica George. This was a book of the month pick in February. And I mean, I need some bright colors in February, badly. And this is the pinks, the yellows, the greens, the reds. It was like calling to me. This is about Maddie, who's a 25-year-old woman living in London. She takes care of her father, who has Parkinson's full-time, while her mom lives in Ghana. And it's kind of about her mom moving back to London and then Maddie finally getting to experience young adulthood. I loved this book. I thought this book was fantastic. And I do think the cover did a good job once I read the book. Because you've got like the divide right here. This looks very African. This looks very like Western or British. And I liked the mix of the two together. It did a really good job, I think, of mixing how Maddie felt as a person born in the UK to 2 parents from Ghana, and how she kind of always felt almost like a divide in her soul in terms of where does she belong. This is also just a really good book. You should read it. Next, we have Small Angels by Lauren Owen. This is a gothic fiction piece. And yeah, that cover says gothic fiction. So I bought this because I thought, wow, that looks like a creepy church in the woods. And this book is about a creepy church in the woods. So Small Angels is the name of a church that is on the border of Mockbeggar Woods. And this woods is alive, but not in like a nice way, in like a sinister, these woods might murder you way. And I think that this cover really embodied that creepy woods, church by the creepy woods with the bell. I mean, how could I not buy that? It looks awesome. Next up, we've got The Cartographers by Peng Shepherd. This is about a young woman who basically finds this random map and it ruins her relationship with her father, costs her her job at the New York Public Library, and she gets like shunned from librarian society. And then 10 years later, you find out why, and we jump back and pass to her parents and their group of friends about that map. I loved this cover because this cover said to me, like, sneaking around in libraries and old books, and I don't know, there's like a hidden door. I didn't really like this book very much. I think the cover is very cool, and I'm not saying the cover is misleading, but it's definitely more about maps than libraries. This makes it look like you're going to be like in a library, and there's a little bit in libraries, but not much. So this is the first one that I say, I don't know if that cover is misleading. And now we have Witches by Brenda Lozano, which I 100% bought this book based on its cover. I didn't know what it was about at all, but I had seen this cover on, I think, Bookstagram and thought, wow, that looks really cool. Also, I am like really into witches. And then I was book shopping, saw it, and I was like, I'm going to try it. And I would say this cover is kind of perfect because it's about a woman who's a shaman in rural Mexico and another woman who's interviewing her. And I mean, that's kind of what that picture says, isn't it? You get the skirt, makes me think Central America. Definitely with the bird head, you think not entirely normal story we're going to be reading. So I think this was a really well-chosen cover. Next, we're going to look at a series. And it's the Stay a Spell series by Julia Cross. Here's the first book, Wolf Gone Wild. And I love this cover so much because I think it's tricky in romance designing a cover. I'm a person that doesn't love the illustrated couple cover, but I understand that not everyone wants to have a photo of a couple embracing or of a shirtless man on their cover. My cover has a shirtless man on it, but I really like this because it doesn't give me the like young adult vibes that some of the illustrated covers do. And it's really cool because if you read the book, it's very cool. You've got like the moon, the potions, the different herbs. You've got a cat right there. You have the wolves jumping right here. I think it was perfect. The entire series is fantastic. I didn't get them all down because there's 7 books in the series, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pop them up really quickly right here so you can see the rest of them. Don't Hex and Drive, Witches Get Stitches, Grim and Barrett, and then Resting Witch Face. I forgot to say, always practice safe hex. I'm doing these completely out of order. Walking in a Witchy Wonderland. They're not in order. That's not the order, but I hope you enjoyed those beautiful covers. And I would say they 100% lived up to me loving the cover because I absolutely love this series. It's fantastic. Next, we have A History of Wild Places by Shay Earnshaw. This cover has like some ink blot stuff going on, and the drips make it look like the woods down here. And I do feel like this cover says, creepy stuff happens in the woods. And this is very much a book about creepy stuff happening in the woods. It starts with this man who's a psychic following this trail of a missing author. And then all of a sudden, his narration stops and we get 3 new narrators, and they're living in this commune in the woods that feels like a cult, and you're not sure what's real. And I feel like that is very much this cover. Also, great book. Read it. Okay, so this one, I was definitely going to buy this book because it's by an author who I love. But I think they killed the cover, so I need to show it to you anyways. And it's Siren Queen by Nevo. This is about a Chinese-American woman who becomes an old Hollywood star, but like with a fantasy twist. And that is what that cover says to me. She definitely has that like classic beauty of an old Hollywood star, like the glossy lips and like the glossy hair. And I love the smoke coming out. It makes her look a little bit magical because this book is very magical. I love the sort of like blue tones in it. Like it's not sepia, but how sepia is brown. It kind of feels like that. Awesome. This book was fantastic. One of my favorite fantasy books of the year it came out, which I think was 2021. I'm going to double check. No, it was 2022. Fantastic. And then we've got Once There Were Wolves by Charlotte McConaughey. I am so glad I judged this book by its cover because I thought this looks like it's a contemporary fiction about a woman who is helping reintroduce wolves into the Scottish Highlands and what happens with that. But there's also a lot of secrets. And I looked at this cover and thought, I don't know, I like that like woodsy look, that like kind of creepy woodsy look. And man, if this isn't one of my favorite books now. Good job on the cover. It caught me, and now I have a new favorite author. We're going to end with one final series that has had dozens of covers probably, and that's because it's The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. So these are my favorite covers. This is not the first edition I read. I had like a crazy, I got The Hobbit the first time from the library, but then I had like a crazy tome that had the entirety of Lord of the Rings in one book. And but then my friends and I decided to reread the series when we were in our 30s, and I wanted to buy this cover particular because I really like the minimalism of it. I like the black covers. I also didn't show you this, but they all have different colors on the spines that I really liked. There's the Two Towers, red spine. Return of the King, green spine. I don't have the Silmarillion in this because I already had it and I was trying not to buy too many, but I've got the Unfinished Tales with the orange spine. So let me just tell you, I have these in the wrong order now because the way I set them down, but how beautiful does that look on my shelf? Very. And I mean, you can't really pitch Lord of the Rings. It's Lord of the Rings. If you want to read it. Or like listen to the audio. You know? Maybe watch the movies. But this is a really pretty edition to get if you're looking for one. Those are all my books. And I should have told you this at the beginning of the video, but in the comments, I want you to write down which book's cover was your favorite out of all these. So you might have to rewind and rewatch. I should have said at the beginning of the video. I'm sorry, I did not though. So you're going to find out right now. But throw me in the comments which of these covers was your most favorite, because these are my most favorite of the ones I have on my shelves. It'd be hard to beat Wayward for me. I think that was a really, really good cover. Siren Queen's pretty good too. Those are probably my two favorites. If you don't want to write a comment, but want to let me know you made it to the end of the video, give me a big stack of books emoji. And as always, I hope you're in the middle of a good book, about to start reading a good book, or about to start writing a great book. I'll see you soon.